Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tech High School Series. My name is Flutter, and with me is the wonderful, legendary Hot Sauce today. Hot Sauce, how are you doing today, man?
Super excited to be back in the booth with you here, Flater. Another Tech High School Series Division 1 into week 4 already. And not too many undefeated teams left here, Flater. We're going to see one in this opening game, though.
Oh, yeah, we got Westmont Hilltop going up against Greater Altoona CDC. Now, Greater Altoona, they've had a bit of a balanced start in the first few weeks. 1-1 is their current record, while Westmont Hilltop, they're at the bottom of the leaderboards with 0-2 written at the side of their name. So this, Hot Sauce, this might just be it. This is their chance to get that first win.
Yeah, Greater Altoona, they had a tough loss last week. But again, I've seen these guys play 2 or 3 or at least 2 times on stream. So they definitely have a lot of talent over there. I know Yoshi is one of them. Snarf, I think Zlotty might be one. But I've seen a lot of great action from them. Today we're going to be on Ascent, though. I know there was, I think Greater Altoona banned Pearl and Westmont picked up Ascent. So Ascent's a map that I certainly love. Um, Interested to see whether they go with Sova or Killjoy. Chamber always a great asset on this map as well.
Definitely, and like you said, Killjoy by far might just be my favorite map when it comes to defensive agents. The way she can lock down the entire B site, and you have nothing else to worry about. You can have 4 players. You can have 3 over at A, 1 at mid, and the only one on only KJ holding on at B site. So it's gonna be pretty fun to see whether the defensive side, which is Westmount Hilltop, do they go for that, or will they be going up for something different?
Yeah, Flater, and I'm wondering how long is it before we start seeing Harbor out on the battlefield as well? A great wall, a lot of great utility from Harbor. Maybe not too comfortable with him yet, but certainly a valuable asset to the team.
And I personally really like that invulnerable smoke. I mean, you have to like shoot it, I don't know, 5 to 6 times to get it broke. It's a really great asset for post-plan situations, especially for the team that has to retake the sites, and that might just be something that we'll be seeing in the future of competitive Valorant. But as of right now, I'm not sure whether we'll be seeing it on the field. But this matchup, maybe we do, and it's going to be fun to see what kind of new strategies both of these teams pull up with Harbor.
Yeah, Westmont 0-2, certainly very hungry for their first win. So I expect them to come out, pretty ferocious here in this. But we'll take a quick look at the standings. As we can see, Penn Trafford up on top, 3-0. And I've seen a couple of their games. They are looking very scary. Greater Johnstown as well, 2-0, another dangerous team. Forest Hills, I've had a pleasure of casting them. They're a really fun team to watch as well, sitting at 1-1, along with Greater Altoona as well, who we will see today. Followed up by Winber, another talented team that I've had a chance to cast. We've got Hollidaysburg down there at 1-2, and of course Gateway and Westmont both searching for that first win of the season.
And both of these teams have the opportunity to get that first win today, with the very first opportunity going to Westmount Hilltop. We are at the agent select screen now. If you would avert your eyes here, we'd see the Chamber coming in from the defensive side. No KJ though, not so fast. And all comes down to Monkey. Let's see what he goes for on the attacking side. Once again, a Chamber, like you said, Hot Sauce, the Chamber, one of the greatest assets on this map.
Yeah, and Yoshi plays a lot of Sky. Got to look out for Yoshi, as I mentioned previously, a very dangerous player. I've seen Zlati and Snarf both play an array of characters, so I'm kind of interested to see what they opt to go with here. We see Monkey on that brim. Smoke's incredibly important on a map like Ascent, so we will see Snarf go with Omen. Zlati with Fade there. Fade is so good on a map like Ascent as well. So a little more of an initiator action there as well, but I'm kind of favoring the comp here from Greater Altoona.
Yeah, it seems to me that neither of these teams have decided to go for any of the picks that we were talking about. No KJ, no Soa coming in from either of these teams. But I guess the Fade coming in on the attacking side does do some justice to the kind of strats that we're looking for. But on the defensive side, like you said, Westmont Hilltop, not the favorable roster. But let's see if they can pull something off here. The one opportunity that they're going to be having this week is going to be against Greater Altoona. And I'm pretty sure you cannot ask for a team better than Greater Altoona.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here because the intel just isn't there for the Westmont team. That Fade is going to be a huge pickup for Greater Altoona. Not a whole lot of intel coming in the way of Westmont. No Sova, no Fade. So it could be a little bit more difficult for them, but hopefully they can, use this Sage to a T, and we'll see if they can come out on top and maybe secure their first win here.
We shall see, as we see Greater Altoona going for a bit of an early A push here. Snarf with the smokes coming in soon enough. There it is. The first few duels coming through. The smokes over at Haven. There is Greater Altoona now pushing towards site. Have the site under control. No kills coming in early on as everybody's playing a very patient game. But look at Bane there, slowly pushing in through the smoke. That could be very fatal. But as of right now, no duels yet. He's just waiting there patiently for both of these teams. He'll find one. Can he get the second? Yes, he can. And that is 2 kills for Greater Altoona and a great advantage here in offense.
Yeah, they did a great job of holding off, trying to play for the retake here. Westmont, unfortunately, the shots are ringing out. Yoshi finds one. Snarf gets one on the trade as well. All down to Sage up top here in Heaven. And just in a tough spot, the heal comes out, but the swarm is there. And Yoshi with another one. The first round going to go to Greater Altoona.
Only one player down from Greater Altoona. You cannot ask for a better round than this. Perfect smokes, perfect push, and I have to say, Bane, the best strategy there. Just going ahead and waiting in that smoke, waiting ever so patiently, getting those 2 kills at the start of the round, just making sure Westmont Hilltop are on their knees going into the second round here. Well, they will be on an eco now with this one Spectre coming in from El Dolph. I'm not sure he'd want to go for that.
Yeah, again, I liked how Westmont kind of waited till those smokes dissipate. You can't blindly push through those smokes. So it was a good idea for the retake. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in their favor. And now pressing toward A again. Yoshi's going to find one with the Spectre on that buy here. Pressuring in, one spotted in heaven. Should be able to hit the switch, pop it down, and the spike goes down with ease as Bane finds one more. Jet does get the trade, however. One player advantage here for Greater Altoona as Westmont on the retake yet again.
So again on the retake with Eldolf on the Spectre, not for long as Claw puts him down. Zlotty with another kill over to Redfish. Monkey, last man here with the ghost in his hand. Not much he can do, will get detected. And he will have the entire wrath of Greater Altoona facing him with that first splash coming in from Sky. And he won't be lasting long here because Greater Altoona is about to take their second round in a row. Another near flawless victory coming in from GACTC.
Yeah, and I think Monkey there just out of habit trying to shoot the Skybird there, the Flash. But in that most recent patch, they are no longer destroyable. And that is not a thing in the game anymore. So unfortunately, not working out in his favor. Yoshi, I'd said, one to look out for. Already 4-0 as they are playing on this bonus round. And because of that little scrap buy that Westmont did last round, we'll see them kind of an iffy buy here as well. They should have saved and been able to force up into that full buy. Unfortunately, it's going to come back to haunt them here.
Yeah, very weird strategy coming in from Westmont, going for Spectres in the third round, which clearly should have been the one with assault rifles. As a push now coming in towards the B side, the better of the two sides, but they're going to try and Redfish coming in, trying to find one. The spray doesn't connect with anybody. A few damage points here and there, but Bane's going to put him down to the ground. There it is, Greater Altoona looking to push in here once again. And they have complete control over its site as the spike will be going down. Snarf finds 1, 2. Tony is going to put him to the ground, but it doesn't matter. The damage's been done. A 4v2 position with site under complete control. Bane, a few misses at first, is going to find him at last, and that will be game.
Yeah, look at Bane just blasting in there, the 3K. Who you mentioned how Bane already had their ult in round 3. I mean, that just goes to show them the work that Greater Altoona is already putting in here. Bane, Yoshi, both just tossing everybody in the backpack and bringing them along for the ride.
Amazing plays coming in from both of these players there, Yoshi and Bane. Like you said, the initiator and the duelist, which goes up front, up close and personal, and beats everybody to the ground. Greater Altoona on a 3-round lead with the guns finally now coming in from Westmont. Still one of the players on the Marshall. I'm not sure how that's gonna pan out for them. Randolph is gonna get detected here as a few early peaks coming in. There it is, Lottie with that pre-fire puts him down to the ground, and a 4v5 situation already with the A side under control. Bane finds another with that early push, and you might want to see it coming from Bane because he keeps doing this every single round. Redfish, however, will find that kill. But Westmont once again on the upset, looking for this retake. As I say that, Snarf just puts him down. 2 of the players already dead over at Haven while Claw closes this round out. 4-round lead now for CATC.
Yeah, not just a Marshal for Westmont, but a Bulldog and a member with light armor. And again, we talk about how you cannot kind of scrap by. You have to be on the same page as a team, not just in the game, but economically as well. And it is important to make sure you're saving together and buying together. So, we see them kind of fall into this little play here where they're unable to buy. Yet again, we have 2 Spectres, a light armor, 2 Bulldogs. So right now they're just frantically buying, and against a team as good as Greater Altoona, you cannot do that, or they're going to run away with this one.
And they're hoping to find these rounds with those scrappy buys, and they're not finding it. They should be able to realize how that is a bad idea. Redfish in a great position, finds one, heals his teammate. Great positioning coming in from Redfish there as he's trying to hold down a site here. GSCTC for the very first time at a man disadvantage. Can they hold on to it here? Westmont,
yeah, but
all comes down to them.
You can see how they've already rotated as well. They've been to A so much, and now Westmont setting up for that great couple early picks, but also an early rotation off of those picks. Now the B site is left wide open. Chamber now going to press in with a spike. Will be an easy plant here with the intel from Fade coming in. And again, maybe just a little bit of an early rotation from Westmont. And I think that was really set up due to the fact that Greater Altoona was pressing that A site so hard in those first 4 rounds.
You have to give them you have to give them all the credit there for CTC, how they managed to take away and rip off the defense of Westmont every single time. As now in a 3v4 position, a 2v4 position, CTC are looking to secure this round. Zloty finds one. Can he find another? They're looking for it. Yes, they do. Down to a 2v2 position. Here, Zloty finds another one. This man is on a rampage. Tony, can he bring this one back for his team? This is the only closest round we've had. And Westmont, they definitely need this one.
Yeah, Tony's going to press in, firing. You gotta stop moving, though. Unfortunately, when you're moving those or shooting those weapons, some side-to-side strafing is okay, but the inaccuracy of a gun when you're pressing forward like that is it's detrimental. And we see those shots kind of sporadically spraying around the target there. Sky able to clutch up another kill, and we see Greater Altoona 5-0 here early, putting Westmont in a tough position, who is currently sitting at 0-2 in the season.
And they might just be making it 0-3 here, because CTC, the way they're playing, that is 5 rounds in a matter of 10 minutes. This was the actual first round that we had any kind of a balance coming in from both of these teams. Westmont had a chance, and that chance was quickly taken away by Zloty with that site hold. Now Westmont with another opportunity to get this defense going. Randolph, that is not what you want to do. Pushing in through the smoke with no idea where everybody is. Going down, CTC already at a man advantage, looking for more.
And now the spray coming out from Zloty as well. Got to find Monkey through the wall there. An easy pick. One more on site, pressing towards stairs. And now they have control here, able to press into CT, complete control of the B site. The pressure all 3 through market, and they have to be careful funneling in here one at a time.
I mean, going for these peaks one at a time might not just be the best idea. Redfish, even after that whiff of an orb, does find 2 with this Spectre. Does he go for the res? No, he doesn't. He's looking for more. It all comes down to this man, what he does with this Spectre. Does he push on further? The orb coming in from Chamber. Does he find him? No, he doesn't. Redfish, does he read the angle? No, he doesn't. Gets eliminated by Yoshi, and you gotta check those corners, Redfish. That was the one opportunity you had for taking this round.
Yeah, you got to check the corners. I think just a little distracted by Chamber and the Tour de Force coming in as they secure another round. And again, we see 2 Marshals, a Spectre, light armors, and this is just so dangerous. You need to try to find a couple rounds, and you're not going to do it by these scrap buys. They need to collectively buy together, save around that 1,800 to 2,000 mark will allow your team to full buy in the next round. And I hate to see them keep digging this hole here.
And they keep digging it further and further. Westmont, I'm not sure what they're doing, but as long as it's not working out, I'm pretty sure I'll be keep complaining about what they have been pulling off here. 2 an ult early on coming in from Westmont, which is going to be absolutely useless as they find little to no information about the people already pushing in towards B side. Monkey finds 1. Can he get another? No, it's going to be Zloty getting that trade in. Another headshot coming in from Yoshi. A 3v4 situation with Westmont once again at the man disadvantage.
Yeah, they just keep digging themselves in this hole, and it starts with those buys and those weapons. The rotation here, trying to get control. Doff up top, though. Sprays come out, unable to hit the mark. Has the ult in hand, dashes out. Ooh. Too many 2 there, and Redfish gets 1. Zloty on the trade as well at a 3v2. The player advantage still in the favor of Greater Altoona. There's Redfish on the back pedal, but Yoshi heard them running, finds the head tap as well, and there you have it, 7-0. And hopefully, Westmont can get this economy back on track and find a couple rounds before they switch sides.
And I really like the idea of Eldov just pushing in with that dash, trying to catch them off guard. But CTC, they have been so patient with these plays. They are looking to expect anything and everything from Westmont, which they clearly have been doing for the past 7 rounds. They're looking for more here, as Westmont is now gonna be going for another normal defensive 2-1-2 split with probably a wall early on coming in from the Sage.
Oh, there's the pressure toward the B side. Omen lurking toward it mid there as well. And with that wall up, need to break it quickly. Let them know that there's still room to come here. The fade intel comes in. The Hunt not finding anyone, however. And there's the Prowler to follow. Going to get stuck by Switch, though. Is Claw able to find one? A nice op shot there. Bane picks up one more. Slotty holding CT. Bane with another. And Greater Altoona is absolutely dissecting Westmont here today.
0-8 now stands the scoreline with Greater Altoona. Anything and everything that they pull off here, Westmont struggle to find the answer to the kind of questions that Greater Altoona have been shooting them out with. But it seems to me that Westmont, they are outnumbered here, and they are outpaced in skill. They have been outsmarted every single one of these rounds, and if they want to have any chance of taking even 1 or 2 rounds, they gotta think out of the box here.
Well, unfortunately, it comes back to these buys, right? We still see Spectres. They're not saving up the economy. They're not getting those rifles. I mean, these Spectres can be good on defense in close quarter situations, but there's Snarf pressing through mid again, finds an early pick, biting that rotation over from A. Here's the pressure from B. The Hunt goes up, it's going to find one. And now with that intel, they pressure on the site. Claw lurking with the op at mid. Redfish able to find one as well. Kind of been a little bit of the glue to hold Westmont together, but it's just not quite enough. Redfish, Bluefish, 1 fish, 2 fish, got 2, the double kills. Lottie another on the trade, and now Red is absolutely popping off with a triple kill.
Finally, the Spectre play is working out for Redfish there as he finds 3. But can they hold on to it? Because there is Claw pushing in with the operator, finds 1. Tony already hitting the dust, but still we see Redfish very much alive. Can he catch Chamber on the flank? It's the battle of the chambers, both of them on the op. Randolph pushing in, had the right information, but fails to connect the shot. And it's gonna be Claw coming out on top with the first few spam shots coming in from Snarf. Reads the play perfectly well. And CTC even went down a few players. It doesn't matter to them. Anybody and everybody is capable of clutching in this team.
Yeah, you know, and you just have to wonder if it comes back to the weapon differences here. That was a very close round for Westmont, a round that they very well could have clutched up. But again, using Spectres. Now we see a Bucky, a Marshall, only 2 rifles and one of them with light armor, opting to go with the Spectre now yet again. And the economy is just not there. They're not buying correctly. And they're just basically digging themselves into a hole they can't get out of.
And there hasn't been a single round where I've seen all 4 of them on assault rifles. That has been the kind of condition that Westmont's been living in for the last 9 rounds. And another A push now coming in from GACTC. Yoshi finding another one over to Monkey. The retake opportunity with the Brim already down. Snarf finds one, also gets the second with that huge flank. And Yoshi is going to put that last man to ground with Greater Altoona now in a 10-round lead.
Yeah, Snarf is just channeling his inner Sabrosa out here, putting in work 10-4 as we see Yoshi back on top with 11-2, not dropping a single round on this attacking side. And, you know, again, without these full buys coming in, we see kind of scrap again. Not, as you had mentioned, not a single round where the whole team collectively has rifles together. And it's unfortunate because there were a couple rounds that they should have taken, and you kind of wonder if it kind of defaults back to that.
Absolutely, this economy has been a total bust for Westmont. The kind of buys that they've been going for has been a huge factor to them losing all these close call rounds. As Claw once again opening up the round here with the first kill coming his way. Already down to a 3v5 as we see Snarf just pushing in. We'll find Redfish there. Redfish does find one. Can he get the other one? And this man has been the Spectre every single time. We're down to 26 health. Zodi puts down another one. 2v4 situation, and I have not seen a single round where Redfish will be coming out on top here. Down to a 4v1. Randolph on the Phantom. Not sure he can do much with it as the aim not on point. Yoshi finds his head, and that is going to be 11-0 on the scoreline.
I mean, you know, I have to give credit to Redfish, though. Redfish is certainly very talented. 12-11, the only positive member on his team. And, you know, he really just doing a great job. Unfortunately, the full buys haven't been there. The teamwork not quite there today. So hopefully, you know, they can go back and watch this tape, kind of learn some things that they've done wrong, work on that economy issue. Certainly a talented team. Unfortunately, just, you know, again, with the economic issues that they're having, just not going their way today.
Absolutely not. And there it is. Redfish once again on the wall. Here's the push coming in. And that ult might do a little damage, but it's not going to get anybody's head. Bane finds one, though. He's looking for another. Can he get it? Yes, he can. Monkey, where you're looking. It's Bane on your tail. Once again, Bane looking for another here. Can he find one? Yes, he can. On 3, looking to make it 4. But it seems like Zlori will find the last one. 12-0 is the scoreline. GACGC 1 round away from a clean sweep.
Yeah, I mean, if Bane's playing a song right now in his ears, it's look at the flick of the wrist, the flick of the wrist. That man's got the flicks, popping heads, getting bread, as we say, and Bane back on top, 16-6 as we head into the pistol round, and this will be the final chance for Westmont to just grab at least one round before they head out here. But this Greater Altoona team is playing like a well-oiled machine, and they are looking unstoppable here today.
And for Westmont, right, if they had so much difficulty holding down defense, I do not know how they can get past the defensive wall like Westmont, like GACTC here. It all comes down to this push over at B side. A bit of a split coming in as the duelist all the way at high mid. Not going to be lasting for long in this game as Bane puts down another, looking for the third. Doesn't find it, not yet. It's going to be Zlori who puts him down to the ground. Redfish still alive, not for long as Zlori finds that head through the wall. Down to 50 health, the 1v5. Randolph down to 20 health, and they're looking for the knife. Goes for the deagle instead, and it's going to be a 13-0 clean sweep for GACTC.
Can I get a sheesh for that headshot through the wall? What a dirty sheriff shot from Zloty as they clutch it up 13-0. Greater Altoona CTC going to 2-1 on the season. Westmont unfortunately falling to 0-3. And, you know what? Redfish did a phenomenal job there trying to hold it together. Unfortunately, it was just not there for them against this very tough Greater Altoona team.
My God, Redfish doing all the work for his team, and even that wasn't enough to hold down, to get even a single round in their favor. But that was the first game. We will be back with the next one very soon. It's going to be, I believe... Hold on a second. Let me get
Winburn
that
versus
graphic up.
Gateway.
Yes, thank you. There it is, hot sauce. Oh, really appreciate it. It's going to be Westmont versus, I believe, Gateway versus Winburn. It's going to be right up next. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Valorant. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tech High School series. We are here with the second match of the day. It's going to be Winmer versus Gateway once again. My name is Trader, and with me in the casting booth is Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce, how are we feeling about these two teams?
Great. I think think I've seen Gateway play at least once, but I've seen a lot of Wimber games, and even though they are 1-1, that second game was a very, very close game. Uh,
Mm,
I've seen Mr. Gary, Anja, Sharks all pop off. Looking at Mr. Gary today, I know he plays a lot of Chamber as well.
mhm.
So I'm in favor of Wimber in this one, just from what I've seen in the past.
And it seems to me, if I'm looking at Gateway's record, they're on the scoreboard. They are 0-2 on the scoreboard, sitting right there with Westmont Hilltop, right above them, because Westmont Hilltop, as we just saw, lost their very third game in Division One. And now, as I've been told, the map that we're going to be playing at is Breeze Hot Sauce. How do you feel about this map?
I personally love Breeze. It looks like Gateway did ban Icebox first, and then Wimber selected
Mhm.
Breeze. But I personally love Breeze. A lot of people have a tough time on it. It is a pretty well spread out map as far as A to B sites. The transitions, the rotations can be big, and there's a lot of different angles to cover with the up top
Mm.
tube, the
Yeah.
areas at mid, elbow on B, and the various different things. But I love Chamber on the A site. You can get up on top of the pyramids with a cheeky play early. Teleport into the cubby with a shorty and make some great first round plays. So I'm excited to have Breeze here. We don't get to see a lot of Breeze, and so I'm excited to change it up a little bit. We get a lot of Ascent, Icebox, Pearl, but I think this might be my first time casting Breeze here for the Tech High School series.
That's going to be pretty exciting. And like you were saying, Breeze, a pretty open map, but I feel like with the right agent choices, you can have everything under control. Maybe you could use the neon walls. Maybe you could use the new harbor agent to get those angles cleared. The skies flashes work. I mean, there's no range to them, just like Reyna's flashes now within recent updates. So it's going to be pretty fun to see what these two rosters come up with. Absolutely crucial agent picks, especially for this map, because you cannot run away with bad agent picks here on Breeze.
I would be highly surprised if we don't see a minimum of at least one Viper. Viper is
Mm.
a huge asset on Breeze. With Harbor coming along, he has a similar wall that stretches for eternity, basically. We may see Harbor here today, but certainly I would be very surprised if we don't at least see a Viper.
Yeah, definitely. Viper, at least on one side, or Neon to get those early picks in one of the agents for sure. But I believe we're just about ready to get into this game. After this game, we will be having another one. It's going to be Foresters versus Grace Johnstown and Hot Sauce, like you mentioned. Absolutely phenomenal teams. We just had Forest Hills' coach on the call with us, just messing around, having some fun. But two great teams. It's going to be pretty exciting to see what that matchup gets us to. But as of right now, Winber versus Gateway, just right ahead of us.
Yeah, again, I haven't seen much from Gateway yet. I don't think I've had a pleasure of casting many of their games, but I have seen
Mm.
Wimber in action. I know Mr. Gary can pop off on just Sharks as well. So I expect to see a great performance of them. Gateway, I think, in their first couple games, faced some of those top teams, some of those undefeated teams. So I think this will be a real test for Gateway against Wimber. If they're able to secure this win, it'll put them in the good fight standings. But I think they're certainly going to have a tough job today against Wimber.
And and Gateway, just like Westbound Hilltop, they're looking for that very first win. So this has to be the make or break position with them. Otherwise, they're going to be 0-3 on the leaderboard, and you don't want to be 0-3, especially with the fourth week now underway.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Mr. Gary is going to go back to Chamber. I've seen him dominate with Chamber. Anjus has played a couple of different
Mm.
characters. Is pretty good on Omen as well. So I'm excited to see, what the team comps are going to be. We talked about seeing a Viper. We don't really see Killjoy too much on here. Ray's always a valuable asset. The Boombot able to clear corners, the paint shells as
Yeah,
well. The Showstopper is exactly that, a showstopper. So, and I'm a Rays main, so shout out to my
not
Rays
right.
mains out there. Yep.
Hey,
Rays and
always.
Chamber are my two favorites. I don't know if I've asked you before, Flater. So Rays, and do you have another one as well?
I prefer working with Neon.
Okay. One of the annoying neons with the finger blasters, huh?
Hey,
Neon is a
it's
fun
fun.
character.
Yeah, it's fun. That's exactly what I was about to say. Neon, especially on maps like Breeze and Fracture, there's a lot of space to run around, have those quick rotations, and open up positions, open up angles, open up sites for your teammates. That's what Neon is all about, and I feel like that might just be the way to go here.
Yeah, and she's so quick, right? I know we casted a game the other day for a LAN, and we saw
Mm.
Neon push into a site, fake the plant and immediately sprint to a different site, bite in those early
Yeah.
rotations. And she has so many assets. It's not just that speed there as well from the wall. The alt is just incredibly frustrating and
Mhm.
annoying if you're on the other side. Certainly fun when you're using it, but so Neon is a good asset, but you really don't see too much of Neon in these team comps, especially at the higher tier play, at least just yet.
Yeah, and I've seen what Neon can do at the highest level of competitive Valorant. I've seen the Radiants pull out some of the most amazing strafes with this agent. What they can do, if I see that here in Division One, I would be blown away.
Yeah, the Call of Duty slide cancel, if you will. But I think a lot of teams like Viper, again, so good at holding down B on defense. We see the attack on A. That wall is such a good asset. So most teams, I think it's something crazy like 80% or 85% of the time attack A on that first pistol round. So I'm always interested to see where teams decide to go on that first round and how it compares up to the stats as well. Jet kind of always a number one pick, 100% pick rate among the pros all the way until that recent nerf. She fell off a little bit. Now we see her back in action again as people are comfortable playing with her. So again, team comps are huge. We see a lot of fade these days with the haunt, the intel that you get, the
Yeah.
prowlers, the alt. So I'm always just curious as to see what kind of team comps, do we see the same 5 versus 5, like a mirror match, which is always fun, or do we have an array of legends out on the field?
Legends. You give me PTSD with the Legends use. I don't want to talk about League of Legends before, but I believe we have the rosters here. Winber is going to be playing on the attacking side, and the underdogs, they will be having the defensive position to themselves, and I feel like that's good. Breeze, I feel like it's an offensive sided map with what you can with the amount of opportunities that you have to open up a side. You can go mid, you could go tubes, especially A side. Very difficult to handle with just 2 players alone. You all definitely want to have someone watching tubes and only one man to hold down the entirety of B.
Yeah, I'm torn on this. I used to think the same way, and then my mind kind of flips and flops, but especially with a chamber, right? You don't have to hold down tube with a chamber. You can put the trap right where the wall
Mm.
spawns. They're unable
Yeah.
to see it with the way the door is. And so then, obviously you know if they open the switch door. So that allows chamber to hold down the A site. You can then put one at A by the wooden doors holding mid, or up in
Mm.
nest holding mid as well. With Viper on B site, she can virtually lock it down with the wall, get the intel, or the Viper's pit can secure that alone when that alt pops up. So I think it used to be that way, but now with the characters in play, depending on that team comp, it is very versatile. The rotations can be far. Again, if an offense can attack well, get that early pick and the plant down, then yeah, that can be true. But again, team comp, a huge thing here on Breeze.
Definitely, and I mean, it all comes down to what kind of what kind of agents that we have on the screen. If we have Neon, then the one alarm bot from Chamber is more than enough to hold down tubes. Nothing else to worry about. You can have the Neon on rotations. Other than that, I mean, there's nothing else that you would want to point out with Chamber. Like you said, a very versatile agent can do a lot of work on a map like Breeze.
Yeah, again, I expect to see Viper. Jet's pretty common here as well. Chamber is another one. So maybe some 2 strays in there among the mix. But again, we got everybody finally loaded into the map here. We're going to get ready to head on over to that character select screen in just a moment as we see who they're going to lock in here.
There it is, the first few agents from Winberg coming in with Mr. Gary, like you said, on the chamber once again. Sova is coming in from both of the sides. I feel like Sova is a pretty good substitute to Fade. I don't know why you wouldn't go for Fade, but Sova, I guess, works just as fine. Never Fade with the Neon pick, and I feel, yep, there it is, Viper on both the sides.
Yeah, and I think the reason that Sova is chosen here instead of Fade is because sheerly the distance of that recon dart. Fade's haunt doesn't quite have the same distance. This map is much bigger, much more open, and Sova has a lot of cheeky lineups. I see a lot of great Sova Viper plays, especially on the A site, where both Viper and Sova can work together to be lineup Larrys, and it's a really good asset. So I think that's why we've started to see a lot more Sova over Fade on Breeze.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Both of these teams having a Viper and a Sova to deal with. It's gonna be Winber on the attacking side first. Let's see what kind of play they're trying to pull off here. Yep, it's a classic A side push. Hot sauce. What do you think about this? Don't you think a team should like switch it up sometime?
Well, it doesn't happen very often, but occasionally I am right, and I like to be right. So I'm all for it. But Mr. Gary on Chamber, as I mentioned, 85-90% of the time, teams tend to attack A site first on Breeze, mainly because teams go with a Viper. And a lot of times on defense, you see Viper on B. She holds it well. But on attack at the same side, Viper has a cheeky lineup on the A site. It cuts off the corner, able to get a nice, easy plant here. And that's exactly what we're going to see in round one. And look at this beautiful lineup here.
Well, one-way smoke and
Doesn't even
Mr.
need it.
Gary. He doesn't even need it. He finds two there. Tubes Winber starting off strong, already down to a 5v3 as they push in through Viper's wall. Not even up. They don't even need it as a plant. Now going to be coming in. The Gateway team struggling to find any angles.
I'm going to change Mr. Gary's name to Scary Gary with that headhunter, finding two with ease, sights control Shadow. And this is what patience is so key. We see the shots ringing out, Shadow not getting too anxious. Here's the utility come out, able to peek, find an easy kill. The two-player advantage as well. The blind comes out. Shadow's going to have to back off. Dante has the intel, looking for one, but the help is there. And again, Winber finds the first round with ease. Only one member falling here in round one.
Dante, the flash idea was right, but I guess he missed the ledge. He tripped over it and fell down on his knees against a team like Winber, who started off very strong here. And like you said, the hype was not enough for Mr. Gary, Scary Gary, rather. He has started off strong, already on the Vandal, looking on the hunt for more kills.
And now we see him lining up here at the B site, trying to mix it up a little bit. But again, 2 and 2, Sova and Neon there on the defense, which is a little different strategy than I've seen before.
Yeah, and there it is, a classic smoke coming in, a Viper wall there to save the day. And we see just a few peaks coming in here as a B-short push coming in from Shah. It's not going to be treated well as Anxious does put him down to the ground. Scissor hands. I'm not sure whether he learned something from his teammate. He decides to push in the exact same position on the classic. Not sure if he'd want to do this. The Viper wall does go down. Does he get spotted? No, he doesn't. But the wall is there to stop this push. Winber in complete control of B side with Gateway with no chance of a retake.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had no one holding B main, two trying to rotate through elbow there, and just an easy sight take for Winber. Sharks popping heads with that Vandal, finds one more, and Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands, one of my favorite movies, but we'll see if Scissorhands can make some action here, trying to break that wall again with the classics. It's just a really tough feat here, a really tough retake as well against these weapons. Anjas with the Bulldog finds one as well. And, Flater, I have to say, I think the Bulldog is one of the most highly underrated weapons in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen some players just use it as a burst legend. They'd only need 3 bullets to rip anybody off, and I feel like it's great against oppers as well because you have 3 bullets going in, triple the chances of success of getting that opper. So I do get where you're coming from, but I personally prefer the Guardian a lot better.
Yeah, the Guardian is also a great weapon, especially long range. Doesn't have the same, it's nice if you can tap the head, but the nice thing about the Bulldog, as you mentioned, you can kind of put it just below the head, pop two in the chest. The third one hits the head. It's an easy kill. But it's a great secondary weapon. The Stinger as well, now a much more valuable asset with the recent changes. Shadow, though, putting in dirty work with the Guardian. My, oh my.
What did I say about the Guardian? Absolutely amazing plays coming in from Shadow there. Neon already down, buried 6 feet under as Gateway once again on a buy round are at a man disadvantage with the site already under control for Winber as they slowly decide to push in, realizing that it's completely theirs for the taking.
Yeah, Reyna's sitting there with the intel, hearing them run toward the A side, an absolutely free B plant here as well. And that's one thing. Ooh, and that's a nice trade with the Sheriff, though, but they have to be careful, right? You don't want to rotate too early. And those higher tier levels, we always see at least one kind of anchoring out, trying to find that long lurking kill or just waiting for that retake to happen. But you never want to rotate too early. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now from Gateway.
And with that, I believe the person at short, Reina, reading that everybody was rotating through, that gave the signal that Winber needed to just push in, absolutely smacked through the side, get that planned, get that side control overall. A near flawless victory coming in for them as it is a 2v4. Scissors Hand somehow still finds one. Kevin Hernandez is gonna be going down without a kill. Mr. Gary, Scary Gary rather, finds the last man from Gateway. The gun round going in favor of Winber as well, and they're having an absolute blast.
Yeah, only 2 members have died so far for Winber. So 3 big donuts in that death area for Anjas, Mr. Gary, and Random. So right now they're doing exactly what they need to. We can see Anjas still bonusing off that Bulldog from round 3. So right now they're doing a great job of building stacks on stacks as far as the economy goes. And we can see Gateway now cheating all toward that B site. It just goes to show you that Winber has done their homework, their research, and maybe they've watched some VODs of Gateway, because they are picking these sites well, wide open, easy take.
And there is nobody from Gateway anywhere near to take this side back, and Winbird is just going to walk in and get that bomb down. There it is, Mr. Gary is probably going to be finding Sia there as he decides to go for the longer rotation. Lives for just a little while longer as Sia now on the Marshall is going to be finding Reina on that peak. Scissors Hand find one. Sharks trades out 2 as Winber now once again on a man advantage. Scary Gary finds him nonetheless. Gateway down to 2 players, one on the flank. Let's see how long he lasts for, because Sharks, he has heard him. There's the drone in his hand, goes for the reveal instead on the Spectre. Never Faye decides to just walk in. Doesn't matter, Sharks is gonna find him. There it is, Kevin Hernandez, 4v1, not gonna be lasting longer, and then a few seconds, Winber take round number 4.
Yeah, Sharks could smell the blood in Viper Pit, able to find Neon with that spray running through there. And again, not much Kevin could do all alone there. And really, still, Anjas and Mr. Gary have yet to die for this Winbird team. And again, we'll see Anjas go ahead and buy up now, get that Phantom as well, or most likely trade it out. But if you look at the economy here, there's a big difference between these 2 teams. We see Scissor with that Stinger there, opting to save a little bit of money, but no armor for one of those members as well on that Gateway side.
Once again, Gateway struggling to make ends meet on that economy. And there it is, Winber already possession in favor over Tubes as we see the first few shots coming in from Reina. No kill though, as Mr. Gary is going to be shutting me down. There are a few kills now coming on the kill feed with Winber down, just making Gateway down only to 2 players. Mid control in their favor, so is this side. Gateway, well, they're looking at the last few straws here. An opportunity for success might just not be coming through as Sia now goes down. Gateway in a 5v1 position. Scissors Hand on the Stinger, looking towards the ground, and I'm not sure he's going to be lasting for much longer. Winber take round number 5.
Yeah, not a single member falling as well. And Winber just showing you why they're a talented team. As I had mentioned, I think their loss last week coming to one of those top 2 undefeated teams. And it was a close battle. I think it was like 13-7 or something like that. So as I had mentioned, Mr. Gary, the whole crew, we see him popping off time and time again, certainly putting on a display here, and possibly even playing with a substitute, because I'm not familiar with Random 12373.
And something that you'd want to take away from Westmont Gateway is that you can't keep buying every single round. There they are, once again, on and half by only 1 player on Vandal, and the rest, everybody's just picking up scraps. We've talked about this before. They're doing it again, and we all know where this goes.
Yeah, and again, right there, we see Mr. Gary pushing in. Kevin and Neon there need to swing together, not give Mr. Gary those 1v1 battles, because certainly he's winning them all right now as Shadow finds another kill. Mr. Gary knows the rotation is coming in, but Sia with a dirty Marshall shot, able to pop the head of Mr. Gary, give him his first death, and now it's all down to Viper and this Marshall. A lot of members still standing for Winber.
Ooh, there it is, another one just before he goes down to Shadow on the flank, finding 2. They're absolutely crucial for their victory here in the 6th round. On to the 7th one, with, I believe, once again, yeah, like I said, Gateway are looking for those scrap buys.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give CI a credit there for those crazy Marshall shots, but in the end, it's about winning and clutching up those rounds. So we do see a Phantom. Honestly, Scissorhands has enough money here to buy a rifle, but they're choosing to go with the Spectre. We see Kevin again with the rifle, but no armor. I don't understand. This is the second round in a row. Kevin has bought a rifle, but not bought any armor. And he has the money to do so.
I'm sure they're saving it after 13 rounds, which I'm pretty sure Winber would be ending it out there. There's the ult coming in from, I believe that is Winber, but no kills found by that Sova. Shadow comes in, and this was why I wanted a man at tube. Shadow just opens the door, finds one, fails to get the second one, but the damage has been done. The trades coming in left, right, and center. Sia finds another before going down, but Mr. Gary, there it is, the scary man, finds three, and the third headshot on the flank to take that 7th round victory for Winber.
The Tour de Force coming out at the end, and a force it was from Mr. Gary. Sheesh. Just like that, 7-0 here. And again, we see them all rotating to that B site there nearly. I think there's maybe some miscommunication going on as we see maybe Sky start to cheat back toward that A site. But Gateway just maybe a bit flustered at the moment.
They sure do look like it, but it seems like it has to be a huge difference in skill here. We see Winber very clean with their early peaks. Once again, Shadow finding that first one on the Vandal. And it seems like it's an absolute blow, just like we saw last game. Winber dominating the competition through and through. An early push coming in from the Sky there at mid. Does he spot Gary? Yes, he does. And goes down with it. 5v3. Not a lot of chances left for Gateway here in this round. See on the Vandal. Looking for this early B. Can he get that? Can he find that head? No, he can't. Not so fast. Gateway is holding down B side as we see the spike. Still holding on over at B. Shadow finds one on the flank. Sia. Does he read this position? No. He thinks that that's the flanking guy, but the flank is where the spike's at. The spike goes down at B. But here's an opportunity for Sia. If he realizes that the spike's been planted at B soon enough, which he doesn't, he could have found that 1v1. But as of right now, it seems like he's going to be confused for a little while, finally realizing that spikes had been planted at B all along. But in this 4v1 position, you can't do much.
Yeah, and just, phenomenal patience from Shadow as well. We literally saw Shadow sit in the corner outside B main for almost the entirety of the round until that Viper began to rotate. So just a phenomenal job from Winber here. Obviously, the team chemistry is absolutely on point, as well as the communication. Shadow, 13-2-1. Mr. Gary, 12-1-0. And they are just looking absolutely unstoppable out here.
8 rounds, definitely. I mean, 8 rounds in the bag already. Not even a single one lost, and none of these rounds have ever felt close to me. In my opinion, Winber so far have been dominating through this competition. Here is Shadow on the Odin finding Sia. Mr. Gary puts down scissors, and this just might just be another one of those clean sweeps as Sharks finds the third. 5v2 position, never Faye on the Marshall. Can he find Gary? No, he can't. Not with that kind of moment as Vici Dante does find one before eventually going down to Angelus.
Yeah, and I think Winber just has a little more confidence and maybe a little more experience as well. We see some of these Viper lineups and the Sova darts coming out from Winber. We see that one way from Viper up top and tube every time. And we're not really seeing those same lineups from Gateway. So, maybe just a little more experience coming out from Winber here as well. And it certainly shows 9-0 right now, a dominating performance by this Winber crew.
And they do the exact same thing every single time. We see Seri Gary pushing over at mid, maybe 1% to support, and doesn't matter. They push in towards the A side with that exact same strategy, and it works every single time.
Yeah, they've done a great job of mixing up the strategies as well. We've seen that rotations over to B, and a couple rounds they've had Gateway at almost every member at B. So right now doing a great job of mixing it up. Randoms gets one, Mr. Gary, another, and Shadow switching to the classic, sends them packing. Jet up top, but Mr. Gary is going to extinguish that flame in a hurry. 10-0 Winber, finishing these rounds as quickly as they begin.
I know that is a very clean cut example of what we see here from Shadow. Even if he missed the spray, right, he made sure that the flash went in. So even on a bad day, if you have the right game sense here in this game, you can still get away with these with something that at the higher ranks, consistency issues are definitely there, but the utility, the usage of that utility makes up for it.
Yeah, Mr. Gary is sitting at 16-1, and if he can finish this game with only one death, he might be kicking himself in the butt over that one death. Nice concuss here from Neon. Gary is going to fall yet again to that Bulldog, that highly underrated Bulldog, and Sia now has him on the back pedal, vulnerable just a little bit there. Time will tick away and has some help from Dante here, pressuring down 4 in Tube, though, and you got to wonder why they're all together in a small area like Tube, not even on either of the sites, and just kind of some bad play calling here that's going to come back to haunt him again.
Look at Shadow in such a great position. He's looking for the 4K here. Finds one. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, Shadow. It's come back to bite him. He still finds 2. 28 health to his name. Goes for the heal. The flash comes in. This man isn't going to be surviving for so long as Vici Dante does put him down to the ground. This game, actually, this matchup actually ends up being a little close. It's a 2v2 position. Vici Dante getting that flash and finds nobody as we see Random hiding behind the yellow bar. There is Anjas with the first Random with the second kill, taking the scoreboard up to 11-0 for Winber.
I think Shadow just wanted to remind us that he's human too, right? Every now and again he misses, so a little bit of a hectic catch-up spray there, but Shadow able to secure and come away with 2 kills. That blind just a little bit too far to the left there to catch those 2 remaining players, but a good job by Shadow to not get too crazy, just reset that spray there and clutch up on those kills. That was a close round. Gateway almost taking their first round there, so close one.
Yeah, they're fine. I mean, and off of that, a very weird tube push. And once again, Shadow now, this time, is not going to be having any of that tube push as he finds 2 now through that one-way smoke, looking for the third, and he hits the leg. With Dante now down to 20 health, and he keeps on pushing. I don't understand why they would want to peek the operator again and again. Shadow looking for the ace. It's like they want him to get those 5K.
I mean, especially when there's a one-way not in your favor, right? He can see their legs, shoot through, get the kill. They can't see him at all. And it should have been, that should have been resonated with that first, if not that second kill. To continuously peek there is just, it's not the play, absolutely. Now the swarm comes in, and Shadow able to get the ace. What a play!
There it is, Shadow doing miraculous work there on tubes. Everybody's just walking into his crosshair, going down one by one like flies as he takes his overall kills to 23-4. What is that, 5.5-ish?
Yeah, that's certainly a phenomenal KD ratio. Mr. Gary 16-2, equally as good as well on just 8-1. So really everybody is just firing on all cylinders at the moment, and we very well could have our second 13-0 game of the day. It's going to come down to this pistol round right here, and Winber, I shot the sheriff is the message here. Sheriff's across the board.
One more round for Winber. Here they go. A classic A push coming in from Gateway here, as it's gonna be Sharks. A bit of an early push. Finds one. There it is. The Deagle headshot making it work. Can he find another? Does get concussed. That Vici Dante does put him to the ground. Mr. Gary coming in with the trade on the Sheriff. There, looking for another one. There it is. 5v2 rather, make it a 4v1 now. Never fail, last man to stop this reverse sweep, and I'm not sure whether he can pull this off because everybody now is looking for that knife.
They're looking for the knife.
And it seems to me like they're coming it. There it is. Final nail in the coffin, the knife in the back to get that 30-0 clean sweep for Winber.
Yeah, maybe just having a little bit of fun with it there as you see them all swarming with that knife, hungry for the win. 13-0. Winber up on top will go to 2-1 on the season as Gateway falls to 0-3. Man, Mr. Gary, Shadow, both of them looking super dangerous out here today.
I mean, I just want to see more of these players. That's absolutely rolling through the competition. I want to see this team go up against the top players, the top teams like Penn Trafford and Greater Altoona. That would be a show and a half. But as of right now, we still have one more game. The top dogs, Forest Hills versus Greater Johnstown's coming right up after this short break. We'll be back with more Valorant, so stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tech High School series. We are here with the third and the final matchup today, which is probably, in my opinion, going to be the most exciting one. We got Forest Hills going up against best of one of Greater Johnstown. Two amazing teams sitting at the top of the scoreboard. The Forest Hills on the record having 1-1, and Greater Johnstown 2-0, looking to make it 3 here, or maybe it's Forest Hills getting that lead in the records. My name is Flater, and with me in the casting booth is Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce, how are you feeling about these two teams?
Oh, great. Greater Johnstown, one of these only two teams left undefeated, and Forest Hills certainly looking to knock them off today. I've seen both of these teams in action at least once, so it's going to be a tale for the tails. But again, we had, I believe, Greater Johnstown banning Pearl, and Forest Hills was going to go ahead and pick Ascent. So that'll put Forest Hills on the attack, Greater Johnstown on the defense. Ascent, a map we've seen a few times here recently. So again, it'll all be down to, do we see that Killjoy? Is it going to be a fade? What are these team comps going to be here for these two teams?
Yeah, we have talked about this before in the very first series. The first series, however, ended up being an absolute blowout. I do not expect this series to go the exact same way because both of these teams are extremely capable of adapting to whatever their opponent has to open. And here we are right on the Agent Select screen. Do we see KJ's?
Well, KJ hasn't been as popular in the recent times, but still a valuable force on Ascent. So it's always interesting to see. But as you know, Chamber is often in there. We see coming out quickly on that attacking side for Forest Hills, a Chamber, Reyna, Omen, and Jet. As we wait for them to get locked in, and it looks like so far maybe a Jet KO Brim on the Greater Johnstown side. So we'll wait for them to get locked in there and see what we end up with later.
Yep, the duel is already set for Greater Johnstown, rather Forest Hills, as they have the Jet and Reyna combo, pretty classic with Etnug on the Chamber. We see on the other side Sacrifice having that Jet Nexus Cena, and one of my favorite agents, Breach. What do you feel? How do you feel about Breach, Hawk?
I feel like Breach will leave you blind for days. If you enjoy your retinas, don't go up against Breach. He is certainly very frustrating, but a great asset. We see him a really good use on Fracture. We don't see him a lot on maps, so I feel like a lot of players aren't comfortable using him yet. So I think, unless you're in that top tier play, you don't see him as much.
It seems to me the breach option has gone away. Lifesaver gummies. With only 3 seconds left on the clock, might want to be selecting his agent, and there it is. The duelist is gonna be the duelist combo being Jet and Phoenix on one side, and there it is, Zeta and Aurora on Reyna and Jet on the other side. All right, so a pretty interesting roster from both the sides. I believe I'm gonna favor Greater Johnstown just because of the KO.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of teams have gone to just a one duelist or even at times no duelists. So to see 2 duelists here on Ascent is certainly interesting. Phoenix has become, virtually never picked in the pro scene there until these recent updates. We see him being a lot more viable now. The flashes are of bigger use. Obviously, the run it back alt can be huge for entering in sight, buying that extra life. So it'll be interesting to see. But KO is a great asset. The team comps a little bit differ from each other, but again, I'm liking this option to go toward B here in round 1, as a lot of teams don't do that. So
yeah, everybody looks for that classic A push, but it's gonna be a little something different coming in from none other than Forest Hills, who are looking for this early push towards B side. Let's see how they pull this one off. It's gonna be Omen and KO holding down B side. There it is, the push now finally coming in. The call out being made, the rotations coming through. Skip off and Jet. Early push towards Omen Blaze. Can he find one? No, he doesn't. It's gonna be Aurora with a quick headshot, ending his life. And there it is, 5v4 situation now. And Aurora looks for more.
yeah, I love the decision to get that quick push as well, buying no time there, not worrying about the sound cues, and Aurora's absolutely popping off, finds the triple kill. Sage tucked into the CT here, trying to make a presence on the site, gonna run headfirst into the wall. The door shuts as well, and not much room to work with here as Sage just waiting patiently for that wall to break, looks to hop over. There's the noise cue. The other Sage is going to hear that, however, and now they'll have a good idea where she is tucked away at.
Definitely a 4v1 situation. It seems to me that Forest Hills will be coming out on top here as Nexus Scene still looking for that strafe jump. Not going to be coming through. Forest Hills taking that very first round against Greater Johnstown, who are now in a bit of a struggling position with struggles and stingers and shorties coming in the second round. The Spectres all the way for Forest Hills.
Yeah, the Forest Hills, slightly the underdog in this 1-1 against that Greater Johnstown 2-0, but I've got high hopes for them. I've casted them before. They've had some close games. They're very, very talented, and I'm really pulling for them in this match. I'd love to see an underdog upset here today in game number 3.
That is what we're hoping for, as there it is, the push coming in from Forest Hill towards A side. Lifesaver fails to find that kill with the shorty. Should be looking for these early kills because that's the kind of weapons they're on. Shorty on both sides. Skip off coming in, finds one, gets traded out by Sacrifice, who finds two with that shorty. Huge plays coming in from him as Aurora finally puts him down to the ground. A 3v2 situation here, quite costly. This trade-off has been between these two teams, but Forest Hills now complete control of the side with Aurora on the hunt for more on the Spectre. Will be looking for Omen, does find him. Can he get the fourth one? Yes, he can. 4 kills for Aurora in the second round.
I want to know how many energy drinks Aurora has consumed before this match. Round 2, multiple triple kills already coming in. 7-0 on the board, and Aurora is looking absolutely unstoppable.
The ult already ready, and we've seen this before, coming in from a team like this, having the ult ready in the third round with still the Spectre in hand, making sure the bonus goes all the way through. But finally the gun round coming in from Greater Johnstown, an opportunity for success with the Vandal.
Yeah, and Aurora able to drop the Spectre for the teammate that died as well, so they can continue that bonus, allow Aurora to play off the ult as well. The pressure coming toward A side here. The shots are ringing out. The slow comes in from KO, and Zeta gonna find the first one. Sacrifice able to pop the head. A nice trade here as well. The smoke is gonna come in, and a beautiful spray from Sacrifice. The game sense is there, the awareness as well, and they're looking to clutch up on this full buy round. They certainly need to grab it.
And there it is, the push rotation coming in from Forest Hills over to B side, as there it is, Aurora slowly pushing in with the knives in hand. Does he find the kill? Yes, he does. Absolutely phenomenal aim. Precise gunplay, rather knife play, as we have mentioned before. Side completely theirs for the taking, as they're slowly pushing in. Only Omen and now Phoenix there to take this fight. Rush comes in. Omen in such a great position. The Phoenix comes in with a flash, not at the right time. Does find one though. Strike Force, a really ambitious push. Blaze decides to go for the long con here, as there it is, another flash coming in. Flashes off Jet as Blaze finds 2. And there it is, Greater Johnstown making the comeback in the gun round.
Yeah, you see these camera angles we're getting? I got to give a shout out to the observer out here and the people behind the scenes making this all possible, really stepping up the game and bringing us those good views.
Yeah, top tier camera play coming in from our producers at Gitago. No credit taken away from him, but it seems like Greater Johnstown, they are not going to be letting this one go to a clean sweep. They are here to win. They are here to give Forest Hills a fight for their money. 2-1 as Forest Hills once again look for side B.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to find a way to stop this raid boss Aurora right now, sitting at 8-1, and they are going to stack up toward the B side here again. It's worked for them in the past, and of course, Greater Johnstown on that 3-2 split. Here's their early molly from Phoenix, trying to gain some ground. We see Sage tucked in the corner as well. There's the flash. Now they have the intel, the swing. One more flash from Phoenix, has the blind. The smoke comes in from Omen, and Lifesaver will be able to back off to safety. They did find one pick here, however, and now another from Sacrifice. The ult comes in, and Jet doing some damage on the other side of things.
The third kill, the 3 kills coming in from Jet's ult. Sacrifice doing miraculous work for his team as Aurora finds 1. Here it is, Sacrifice looking for more. Does he find it? No, he doesn't. Aurora pops his head off as he looks for another kill over to Blaze, spots him out, but the spray doesn't work up until now, taking it down to a 2v2 position with both of these players right here to give them a run for their money. It's going to be very hard, but Nug finds 1. Can he get another? No, he doesn't need to, because sight is completely there for the taking in this 2v1 position. They're obviously going to be going for the plant.
Yeah, kind of an odd wall there as well, seeing as though they had already picked up that spike, most likely not going to press through mid there. Probably should have saved that for this pressure on the site here, but just trying to make sure they're safe is Nexus. Now tucked into the market here, is either going to have to break the door or run all the way around. And
Oh my
you got to
God.
wonder if maybe at this point you might just opt to save that weapon and try to play for an exit frag here.
Oh my God. Well, Nexus is struggling with his very own wall here, decide and not being able to decide how to go for this site. And there's an alarm board there at the CT side, so not a lot of options left as the wall does go down, but not a lot of time left on the clock here. Nexus should be looking for the save, which he's gonna start doing. Forest Hills with his third round victory. Greater Johnstown now gonna be trailing by 2.
Yeah, I'm loving the play here as well. I think it's a smart decision. We don't see a lot of members saving in Valorant like they should at times. So I think it's a smart decision, a tough decision, but a smart one nonetheless, as we saw Sage kind of deal with that inner battle there, the wall, not sure what to do. But again, Forest Hills doing a great job of mixing up these strategies and the sites here. We've seen Greater Johnstown often cheat 3 to the A site on defense, but we could maybe see him mixing things up a bit due to the strategy changes from Forest Hills.
Most definitely, mixing it up is the way to go for Forest Hills here. Because we can see a lot of map control plays coming in from them, just not straight up push towards one side. As we see Aurora finds one on that flank down mid. Greater Johnstown still having 3 players over at A side, so this is going to be pretty hard to take.
Aurora is so dirty, popping heads, getting brown, as we like to say, and there's 2 more on the board. Dashes by Jin. Zeta's gonna find one as well. Shred Guitar steps into the smoke, but Skip does that. Skips right over him. Blaze, one more, will finally extinguish the flame. That is Aurora. Blaze up top, all alone, the blind there. Pressure hiding into the smoke is Zeta. Remaining calm and patient, exactly what you want to do in a moment like this as Blaze uses more util. The smoke dissipates. Shots are ringing out. No damage being done just yet. Zeta drops down below. Blaze gonna have to back off here. And again, most likely is gonna have to save this weapon as the economy is not there. But Blaze maybe feeling himself here, pressing forward, able to find one. A lot of damage done though, and is gonna have to get out of here. 5 health remaining.
Yep, he has to be looking for the savior with 5 health to his name. Got one lucky enough that he was able to get away with it, as well as Zeta is coming in for the push. He's going to be teleporting far and far away as Zeta now struggling to find Omen anywhere near his site. Greater Johnstown now down 3. Forest Hills, great takes over at A side.
Yeah, and to the credit of Blaze, at least able to get one and get out of there. So taking a little bit of guns and economy away from this strong Forest Hills team. But right now, they have to find an answer for Aurora. The backpack is huge. 13-2. I mean, insane.
Yeah, for sure. 13-2 is the scoreline for Aurora, as it was only the third round which they couldn't get. After that, it has all been uphill from there, as Aurora has been pulling off some great plays. Now more and more to come, as there is another split play coming towards A side with the mid. That's the way they're supposed to be going. An opt to beat. Do they decide to go for it? Does the smoke come in? Not so fast. They're just going to be taking this slow and wait for them to push.
Yeah, we talked about that 3-2 split. Now only 2 at A. So again, these strategies, this mix-up from Forest Hills seems to be working. KO going to back him off a little bit, but the blind there. Skip able to find one. Phoenix does reset, on the runoff, but the switch goes down. Able to sneak into the room is Skip, but he gets caught looking left as Lifesaver finds the kill. Now the 2-player advantage, and they're looking to clutch up on a big round here as Sacrifice finds one more. Now it's all down to Omen.
And with the flank coming in, I'm pretty sure he can't do much with that. He does find that flank kill, has the ult to work with, realizes all 3 players are here. Should he use his ult? Yes, he does. Going towards B side for that plant. Is this possible? The clutch opportunity for Strikeforce. Does he make it happen? The plant does go down, and the rotation comes in from Greater Johnstown as the players are slowly pushing in towards a market. Vandal in hand, entire health to his name. Going up against one, does he get it? No, he doesn't, not so fast, as that is a huge whiff coming in from that teleport. Forest Hills not finding that clutch. Greater Johnstown is going to be taking that 2nd round victory.
Yeah, Greater Johnstown needed to capitalize there, and they do just that to bring things a little bit closer. And honestly, had a good opportunity to clutch up there had he hit that Phoenix shot and then the Omen, but things not going their way. And Greater Johnstown looks to bring this one back within reach.
And it all came down to the op over at Smid, coming in from Sacrifice, absolutely shutting it down midfield, taking full control with that op alone. So maybe a smoke at the start coming in from the Omen in Forest Hills could have been beneficial. However, it did not come through. They decided to go for that A push, ended up messing it up. But it seems like Greater Johnstown now will have to defend this B site as this fierce push comes in from Forest Hills.
Yeah, they got to be careful peeking this op as well. They're going to need at least a smoke or a flash as Lifesaver finds one. Aurora gets another. Lifesaver on the trade. Skip trades right back. Now on a 3v3 with a chance to revive KO as well. Falling into position here, we can see the rotation coming out. A big Sage res as well. And that will give them the player advantage as the KO ult will dissipate. And they will lose that fourth member. Now in a 4v3, the rotation coming in. Tucked into the cubby is Blaze. The sprite comes out. Nug able to get the trade, but Sage caught with a knife in hand, and that is always an unfortunate feeling.
You gotta check those corners. However, it does work out in their favor as the trigger discipline could have ended up with 2 kills. However, there's just the one coming in from the chamber. Sacrifice now looking for that first kill. Zeta shuts him down entirely with that ult in hand. Gets that one tap on his head for a still 2v1 position. And it seems to me is that this round is theirs for the taking.
Yeah, I mean, Nexus could pull up a crazy upset here. Plenty of time left on the clock, but certainly a tough job. Able to spot out Zeta, though, and much more feasible now. Jumps down, the reload is there. Chamber is going to hear him working his way around Jin as well. And what is going on? What is going on?
I'm so sorry, Nug. This, I'm sure we can cut out this part of the VOD. However, you know what? It still works out for them. Forest Hills take that round, but I'm sure they would not ever want to see that round again because that is a huge whiff coming in from Isnug with that Headhunter might affect his confidence with the Deagle later in this game. But as of right now, Forest Hills should be happy that they were able to still bag that round.
You know, it happens to everybody at some time. You got to laugh it off and hopefully just make some jokes with your teammates there. Luckily, still able to clutch the round, so it doesn't come back to haunt you. But, I mean, Sage didn't even check the entirety of Jin, so I didn't know what was going on there. Then Chamber accidentally whiffing those shots. It was just a blooper reel for the ages.
Oh my god, Sacrifice, as we were talking about, that last play came in with a kill over to Aurora. A huge kill there for taking this round. You gotta let that duelist go down. Lifesaver Gummy comes in with another, and Forest Hills are down 2 players in the early parts of this game with Aurora, the entry fragger, already on the spectator mode. There's not much you can do except wait patiently and try to get these few entry picks.
Yeah, and you never want to push through those smokes blindly as well. So just remaining patient. If they can be patient just a little longer, they could find Lifesaver in trouble. Lifesaver's going to get one, though.
Oh, my God.
Unfortunately, Omen does not peak quick enough on that counter. Lifesaver gets a third, making a fourth for the quadra kill.
Lifesaver Gummies with that one flash, making it work. Getting all those kills there over at A main, and it all just comes down to that very first kill coming in from Sacrifice. Every time this man has the ult, that is the majority of the times they have taken this round. 3 rounds now out of which the 2 came in from Sacrifice's ult abilities. Forest Hill still up 2, but the momentum completely in favor of Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, again, on those Sheriffs, the classics as well, having to save up for that falling round. Omen full buying here, though, with that armor as well, so won't be able to buy next round, and we'll see if maybe Forest Hills can pull off at least 2 or 3 kills and kind of hurt the economy on this eco round. Phoenix gets caught off guard. Aurora will find one, but Shred Guitar gets the trade. Blaze trades one more, and now in a 5v3, they have the 2-player advantage.
And they're looking for a bigger advantage here as Lifesaver Gummy comes in with another kill. And there it is, Blaze with that teleport finds one down to the last man. Skip off, not much you can do here except wait and count your days because it is not much longer. It still finds one, it's done enough damage. Blaze is going to put him down to the ground with Greater Johnstown now just trailing by 1.
Yeah, and we thought this was going to be a much closer game. That's exactly what we're seeing here right now. The Jets going head to head at the top of the leaderboard and nearly all tied up as Greater Johnstown looks to battle back into this one. The op in the hand of Sacrificed, and Forest Hills certainly has to be careful. They don't want to get in economic trouble as well. We talked about Omen full buying up last round, and now we see him stuck on the Sheriff yet again here.
And I'm not sure why he'd want to go for that buy last round. It did not work out in his favor. Nothing consequential came out of that buy and sacrifice. Here it is, that entry frag every time Aurora has gone down early at its every time. Where Johnstown has taken this round, and it seems like they're on the way to do exactly that. Once again, down to a 5v3 position. Forest Hills struggling to find this entry as Lifesaver Gummy still puts down a few damage points over to Zeta, who's now at 10 health. Not much you can do in this position except look for the save because the economy is still a bit of an issue.
Yeah, they can hope to find at least a kill or two here, but certainly in a tough bind at the moment. The rotation already starting to spread out here from Greater Johnstown as well. Omen into market here. Phoenix lurking at mid, but they might be able to sneak by here.
And, it all comes back to what we expected, right? This has been a very close game. Trading blows left and right here. Greater Johnstown coming back after trailing by a few rounds. Forest Hills struggling to find more, but they still manage to keep the lead for just a little longer. However, after this round, it might just be the equalizer as the entry now comes in from Greater Johnstown. Blaze over at side that finds that head over to Zeta, and it seems like this round might just be going to Greater Johnstown as well.
What a dirty shot that was indeed. Lifesaver from behind on the flank gets one more. Shred Guitar will shred Nug, and it's a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all tied up 5-5.
There it is, Greater Johnstown doing miraculous work with their aiming ability and that game sense coming in from this entire defensive roster. Sacrifice with those early kills to Aurora, shutting down the top fragger. That's all you want to do if you want to shut down Forest Hills.
Yeah, Aurora has just been that wrecking force there as well. And now we see Sheriffs forcing up to the Guardian. And again, 2 rounds before halftime. Ideally, you would like to see him save here, buy up for that final round. And I think Aurora did sell at the last moments there.
There it is. An eco round coming in from this team as they now look to push towards A main. The flash comes in from Reina, but I'm not sure you can do much this round with only Sheriffs in hand. Can they find that very first kill? Yes, they can. Skip off puts out a Nexus scene. Can they put down Gummies? No, they don't. He finds 2. Aurora with the trade. Sacrifice finds Aurora there, and in the 2v3 position with Sacrifice pushing this further, almost catching Nug. He's looking for this trade, just crawling in a little too much, but it just works out perfectly for him. Can he get that 4th one? Yes, he can. Sacrifice, an absolute god with the op, and an absolute monster here on defense.
Yeah, luckily for Forest Hills, sides are about to swap, and the op not as deadly on the offensive side if you're good at holding angles, so maybe they can reverse things here. Aurora, though, will buy up, force into that op as well, and maybe looking to give them a little taste of their medicine. We're about to have an op off here between 2 Jets. What better action could we ask for?
Nothing better we can expect here from these 2 Jets who have been just going at each other. At this point, Sacrifice, however, having the Jets' number as of right now, and he's looking for more as there is another push coming in towards A side from Forest Hills, and I'm really surprised they haven't decided to switch it up yet.
Yeah, we hear the tour de force coming in as well, and this time Jet near that tree room on Cat, looking up as well. Aurora trying to find Jet at mid, but could get caught off guard and does. That is unfortunate. The wall will come up. No res for Sage, though, and that is just a detrimental position to be in. Nug finds one with the tour de force, the equalizer there. We'll see if they can work off this play.
And it seems like this has been the exact situation for Forest Hills, being caught off guard there at the outer skirts of A site, and with no chance of recoveries, B side completely shut off to them. I'm not sure what they can do here.
Yeah, luckily Sage, excuse me, able to get the orb, pick up Aurora as well. So Aurora back in this one, but Sacrifice is absolutely running away with it now. The op is so deadly in the hands of Sacrifice. Skip will get one as well onto that run it back, but now in a 4v2, Strike Force looking to equalize. Sacrifice finds the 4K and is now looking for their very own ace, but Lifesaver will close it out 7-5. Greater Johnstown up on top by 2 at halftime.
And right now, it might just be the final opportunity that Forest Hills would have before this turns into an absolute blowout with Greater Johnstown with a huge lead. Forest Hills most definitely are looking for this pistol round win, and it all comes down to this defensive play here. What do they do with this KO? They got to make this KO work in their favor, and they got to do it better.
Yeah, right now kind of stacking the A site. We'll see Reyna start to rotate back toward mid, and generally those pistol rounds kind of favor that T side just because usually that's, pushing together. It's a 5v2, 5v3 type situation. So we'll see if Forest Hills can get a couple early picks here. We can see Sage with that wall in hand, and it looks like they might have anticipated this push.
And without even footsteps coming in, they have already decided to just pull in that wall. Great place coming in. But as of right now, Skip Off will find the flanker. Blaze with a trade down at mid. It's gonna be a little silent game now as Aurora just trying to clear out mid for any other potential flankers. But it seems like B main is gonna be filled with the players from Greater Johnstown who look to break this wall and get that early pick. But look at the position from Zeta. He's in such a great position to find at least 2 here. It all comes down to what he's able to do with that classic in hand. Greater Johnstown now looking to push through.
Oh my! Aurora with a dirty 2K as they're looking to rotate out, and unfortunately just great positioning by Aurora there on that flank. Zeta finds one with a frenzy, and Forest Hills turns that one around. A much needed win for them, and just a phenomenal job by Aurora on that 2-piece.
Like we said, there it is. Greater Johnstown once again now trailing by that pistol round advantage for Forest Hills. Forest Hills did a great job holding down B-side. Aurora in such a great position, just holding out patiently for that rotation, finding 2 there at the end, making sure that everything pans out just fine for his team as they're now on Spectres, and it's going to be a scrappy buy for Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they're forcing up into the Stingers here, because if they don't win this round, they could put themselves in a lot of trouble. Aurora up top as well. There's the flash, able to spray through, doesn't hit the mark now. Able to find the 2-piece, sacrificed on the trade, still a player down as the rotation comes in. The bomb, or the spike rather, just a little behind here with Sage pressing on to Jin. Will find the spike plant. 3 up top in heaven. Looking to get that retake, waiting for Omen to get around toward that tree side as well. Zeta, Skip, both find a kill, and now it's all down to Sacrifice, who's tucked in hell, and Skip will find the trade, and just like that, Forest Hills comes out swinging on the defensive side, looking to give Greater Johnstown their first loss of the season.
I'm really surprised that Sacrifice wasn't able to help out his teammate here with that Spectre in hand. He could, nobody saw him there just chilling in the corner, but there's only so many bullets you can have. He wasn't able to put them to the rest in Forest Hills. They've tied it all up, 7-7. Now is the scoreline with the players over at Greater Johnstown in the gun advantage.
Yeah, and I saw, Greater Johnstown kind of force up there as well. I'm kind of surprised because they had some stingers, and maybe they sold them right at the beginning of the round there, because I didn't think they were going to be able to full buy here, but they are forcing up.
Let's see what they do with that force up. Once again, Vandals in hand for Greater Johnstown as Lifesaver Gummy still finds one. Can he get the other? Blaze is going to be the one putting down Aurora to rest. The wall comes in from the Sage, but the damage has already been done. Greater Johnstown looks to make this push over towards a B side, but look at that. Skip Off on the Guardian. Rips the sacrifices off, and there is the rotation now finally coming in.
Early sprays to the wall here as well, trying to find a little damage again on that back pedal, able to rotate out as well, and Reyna at mid will find one. That's Zeta. It's one more as well. Sage is going to fall. The spike has been spotted. Nugs gets one as well, and everybody finding a kill here somewhere. Blaze on the trade at mid, gets Nug as well, and now in a 1v1, look at the clutch up, but Skip is just covering that bomb, haunting Omen yet again, and Forest Hills clutches up a huge round there.
coming in a clutch when he was needed the most. Skip off there with huge kills from the Guardian, helping out his teammates, making sure that the side was completely shut down. And obviously, credit given to Zeta on that flank, finding two on the rotation, exactly what you want to be doing when you're going for such lurks. Greater Johnstown, rather, in a bit of a pickle, as it's going to be another eco by a force coming in from the offensive side. And Forest Hills, they're feeling pretty good about this game now.
Oh, 3 stingers, a bulldog. If Greater Johnstown doesn't capitalize on this round, they could find themselves losing 2 more. A dangerous gamble here. We'll see if it pays off. Cotton Aurora tucked behind Jin. There's a spot, the flick of the wrist, and able to find the dome. 2 health remaining. What a play from Aurora. Blaze able to get that. Hopefully we'll be able to upgrade to the Vandal as well. The flash from Lifesaver. Going to have to back off his Nug in a tough position. And the Stinger now putting in work.
It seems to me like the Stinger has done just what they wanted it to do. Push in and nothing given away to Forest Hills as they are about to lose this round to Stingers. And that is a huge defeat coming in. But Forest Hills now still in a 1v3 position. Can he find these kills? Can this 1v3 be possible for Zeta?
Oh my! Sage had no idea initially. KO's knife came in, had the intel, but KO never even turned around. So a big pick there as well. But can we talk about how Greater Johnstown secured that round off of 3 stingers, a bulldog, and I'm not sure what that 5th weapon was, but just an incredible scrappy buy.
And I do not believe it. What Greater Johnstown was able to pull off here with just the Stingers, like we mentioned earlier between the games, Stingers and Bulldogs, some of the best guns in the game, capable of doing so much damage, especially when you least expect it. And that's what Greater Johnstown has pulled off in this game. And this has been one of the closest series today.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 13-0s. Now we've seen this game 8-8, tied up for the second time here as the leads have exchanged a few times, rather. But a big split here, 2 in tiles, 2 toward A, and 1 still at the top of the cat. The majority of Forest Hills has sheeted toward the A side here, and we can see Omen about to lurk out through B main. The ult from Omen as well. Now onto the A side. Here comes the pressure, but Skip. Aurora finds 2 as well, and Aurora has just been an absolute juggernaut. The glue holding this team together, does get caught off guard with a blind, will get dropped as well. Now in a 4v2, the 2-player advantage for Forest Hills, as unfortunately Greater Johnstown's just been slowed down here drastically.
Aurora there in the last round, we saw him struggling against the Stingers just because of those flashes, but now this time, even with the Vandals, this man has done miraculous work against the Vandals from Greater Johnstown. And there it is, the Forest Hills still taking another round of victory, 9-8, 1 round trail for Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, and I believe the economy is not going to be there for Greater Johnstown this round, but I could be wrong. I see a couple Vandals over there. We have a quick timeout coming in play as well, as maybe we talk over some strategies, or maybe they need a quick water break. But nonetheless, what an exciting game number 3 we have here. Forest Hills, the slight underdog, currently sitting on top by 1 round.
And the kind of plays that Forest Hills have pulled off here, especially from Sacrifice and Aurora, both of these have just been going at each other with Stingers, with Phantoms, with Vandals, and especially those ults at the start of the game. They were absolutely crucial to those early round victories.
Yeah, it's does Greater Johnstown get another op in the hands of Sacrifice? We saw Forest Hills really dominate those first 4 to 6 rounds on that offensive side. Then we saw Sacrifice pick up that op and really made it a struggle for Forest Hills. So will Sacrifice do that? It can be a little tougher on that attacking side, but certainly very skillful with that weapon.
And we have seen what he can do in offense, what he can do in defense. I wouldn't be surprised if he can pull off the same quick peaks on the offensive side. Let's see if this man is going to be going for the op play. Not so far, though, as the economy is still a bit of an issue. Maybe later in the game. As of right now, Forest Hills still up by 1, looking for that A push.
Yeah, Sacrifice has ult in hand, so we'll be able to save here and could virtually buy the op next round then. Early ult up over top, though. Aurora looking for that intel. Doesn't see anything. Going to peek out a little further. Phoenix waiting there with that flash as well. Spike remaining down at the top of the cat, and the shift toward the A site begins to happen for Greater Johnstown.
Johnstown now, once again, just taking it slow. It all comes down to this mid interaction coming up against Omen, who finds one sacrifice already down against Forest Hills, down to a 4v3 position. Greater Johnstown in a bit of a pickle here. A skip off goes for that wall peak. Does he find anybody? Not so fast. Lifesaver Gummy's in a great position. There it is. Blaze puts him down to the ground, and mid control now in favor of Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, Sage just peeking a little too far there. Needs to hold that angle just a little more as we see Omen going up top for a little more intel. Now the pressure through mid. Zeta, Will, and Reyna waiting there at mid, but Lifesaver is going to be able to pick them off as well. And with that play, Aurora from behind in the ult gets 2 big kills. Omen was spotted there a moment ago. He is the one that got the kill on Sage, so they should have an idea that he's lurking about somewhere, but with that spike down, they should be able to hold these angles and maintain position. Nug's going to get caught off from behind, though. Aurora with the Blade Fury, can't get it. Blaze comes up with a huge clutch.
There it is, Blaze with that one teleport. The only thing he needed to get out over that wall, take that entire flank from Ace side, find those 2 kills to get that clutch in. Greater Johnstown, we're all tied up, 9-9.
Yeah, 24 and 15 for Aurora, 22 and 12 for Sacrificed, as they have been battling it out all game here. Full rifles in hand for everybody except Nexus. And just a very important round for both teams as we get closer and closer to the end of this one, Plater.
Forest Hills now with that KO ult for the very first time coming in from this team. I believe we're going to be going for an A push here. Lifesaver Gummies on the wall there does get some cover for his team as Aurora finds one. Blaze coming in with the trade. Zeta finding one. I Shred Guitar with that trade off as well. 3v3 position. It's Nug and Skip off holding down A side, and the rotation comes in from Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, the Sage Wall coming up too after everybody had already kind of ran out of there. Got to wonder about that. Oh my, you got to be careful with a teleport like that, especially when you know the whole team is at A, playing in tree, really leaving himself vulnerable there. Finds the pick onto the spike. Now it's all down to Nexus, who only has a Spectre, and at this distance will be in a lot of trouble. One member falls for Forest Hills. That is the juggernaut Aurora. But the team coming up clutch here now, 10-9. And again, I think the economy now is going to be hurting a bit for Greater Johnstown.
Oh, it most definitely is. Look at that. Only one player on the battle, and none other than Blaze has decided to take a timeout for the second time here. I'm not sure what the plan is, but it seems like Greater Johnstown, from that early on positioning, seems like they're going to be trying for their luck towards B side. Well, A side, they haven't had the best of the opportunities. We have seen this Aurora just come in, rip everybody off with those smokes and flashes. Let's see what they do over at B side.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, Aurora has really been switching where they play throughout the entirety of the game. A couple times on A, we've seen them at mid, now already starting to set up over here at B. So again, I think maybe taking a quick pause, talking over some strategies for this round and the following round, getting that economy on the same page, starting to maybe feel the pressure here as we get close to the end of the game and the economy just not quite there for Greater Johnstown. Aurora, the whole crew, firing on all cylinders, looking to close this one out, looking to be the upset here tonight.
There it is, and with that pistol round eco coming in from Greater Johnstown, this might just be another free win for them.
All right, so as we are back in, the timeout will dissipate. 8 seconds left on the round timer here to get it kicking, and the whole crew set up at the B site here for the attack. Aurora is waiting there with a few others. See how this one plays out.
Early knife coming in from KO does spot one, as we see Aurora right there, just waiting for these players to push in, and it's going to be an absolute blowout should they decide to push in empty-handed. The flash comes in. Let's see what they do with it. Lifesaver Gummy's not finding anybody as the smoke comes through. I Should Guitar still finds Skip off on the Vandal. Aurora finds one. Strike Force, another Aurora with the second. And like I said, an absolute blowout it indeed was, as Greater Johnstown lost to his final member. We'll be going down to Zeta. 9-11 is the scoreline. Forest Hills 2 round away from victory.
And for the second time in a row, only one member falling for Forest Hills. Great things for their economy as well. A full buy in store for Greater Johnstown. But again, the economy is not going to be there after this full buy. So this is basically a do or die round for them. After this, it'll be match point for Forest Hills. And again, we see Nexus with a Spectre and light armor. Sacrifice still trying to decide what to do up there. So Fort Rifles in hand, but certainly a tough feat ahead of them. Not an impossible one, but a tough one.
And if I could have a quick look at who has the ult on Greater Johnstown, because that could be the game changers here. But there it is, the ult coming in from Lifesaver Gummies, denied by that wall as he does try to push in. Skip off in such a great position. Can he find the ult? No, he can't. Skip off goes down. There it is, Sacrifice still down to the end, but very much alive. Have control over that side because Zeta is going to be going down as well. Aurora over at B side, slowly making his way towards A. And it seems like it might be just a little too late because in a 2v5 position like this, Forest Hills might be counting your numbers.
I don't even know how Omen got that many teleports that quick. He teleported on top of Jin, killed Zeta, teleported into heaven, killed another, and then teleported back to Jin. That was insane.
And I'm really surprised as how Lifesaver Gummies was still able to find that very first kill. He just pushed in through that one flash. There was a teammate over at Generator, but who was not able to support Skip off there. I believe it was Zeta. Definitely could have been the game changer there if Zeta tried to peek a little quickly. Maybe it would have ended up saving Skip off's lives. However, that is not the universe we live in. That's not how the cookie crumbled.
Yeah, Zeta was actually blinded by Omen there. Zeta was blinded by Omen up top on Jin and was unable to get that.
Right. All right, then. It was a great gameplay then coming in from Greater Johnstown.
Yeah, just a great job of communication, using those utilities together. And it just goes to show that timeout they called worked in their favor.
Most definitely did. Now only one round away from tying this all up. Forest Hills, the economy can become an issue if not taken care of. Blaze finds one. Skip off there with the trade over at mid. Aurora on the operator finds another one as he's just waiting over at A side. But look at that, by Sacrifice, he's in such a great position, down to 30 health, just going up close and personal, hanging about. But Zeta does put him to the ground as he's jumping around a little too much. Greater Johnstown at a man disadvantage with KO slowly pushing into towards B.
Yeah, and I like this setup here. Still leaving one at A, knowing that the rotation could very well come in. KO over there with that spike, trying to make something happen. Sage just trying to make some noise at the A site, right? Keep Jet, Reyna, and anybody there that they can. So doing a good job of that. KO could potentially have a 1v1 against Sage here.
And Sage in such a great position to take this 1v1. I Shred Guitar pushing in towards mid. Zeta finds him empty-handed, but fails to connect as he's still down to 30 health. Sage, however, and on the boathouse, this has to be the most crucial one. 30 seconds left. It seems like I Shred Guitar might be looking for the save here as 2 minutes already down. Forest Hills are going to be taking this to match point.
And I can't believe it. The underdogs now sitting at match point. I love this out of Forest Hills. I love the work that they're putting in here. And I just love the progression they've already made throughout the season here in week 4 now, sitting at match point against Greater Johnstown. And again, if Forest Hills can upset Greater Johnstown here today, there will be only one remaining undefeated team to my knowledge, and that would be Penn Trafford.
Penn Trafford. Definitely, and that would be another exciting matchup that we'll see here next week. So a lot of great games we could look forward to. Forest Hills, however, they have not taken this win yet. They still need that one more round. We see Greater Johnstown making this push towards B side ever so slowly. The wall comes in. Will Skip off be going for this early peak here? Nexus does see it coming, but there it is. Blaze going down. He finds 2, and this man has done enough damage. Lifesaver Gummies still finds that trade, but I don't believe it's enough because he's down to 30 health. Now looking for that heal, but Forest Hills at that man advantage. There he goes again on that ult, trying to just push in, maybe find one here. Zeta, oh, this is huge. There it is, knife opportunity.
Oh my And just like that, 30 health on that running back, trying to get full life, but Zeta there waiting patiently. Spike goes down, however, from Sacrifice up into heaven now. Has to get more in a 3v1. Certainly a tough position as Omen now finds his way into Wine, waiting patiently. Spike is down. What a flick of the wrist. Sacrifice was caught off guard. Does the 180, looking for more. He is in a top position. Up into heaven now. Back down. He can't make up his mind. They are everywhere as Aurora pushes in from heaven. And ladies and gentlemen, Forest Hills with the upset. Greater Johnstown 2-1 on the season as Forest Hills goes up the same.
Sacrifice was so scary in that last round. It almost looked like he had that victory because he had the right idea as to where all these players could be, and that definitely that 180-degree flick to find Omen there to make it a 1v2. Unfortunately, it did not work out perfectly enough. It's gonna be Forest Hills having the time of their lives. 13-10 is the victory, and they are now up 2-1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Your MVP, your player of the game, certainly Aurora, 31, 17, and 4 with 6 first bloods. Just a phenomenal performance by Aurora and Forest Hills to upset Greater Johnstown here today. What an that was a phenomenal game. I had a lot of fun casting that one.
Definitely. I mean, clean sweeps in the first 2 games and the final one to end out this week's Valorant matchups. Absolutely bangers all the way through. The games being so close, every round going to clutch situations, left, right, and center. It was an absolute blast. And this just gets better from here on out. Now we're going to be seeing the best teams going up against the best, and the equally balanced teams going up against each other here in Division 1 and in Division 2. Penn Trafford, we might just see them going up against Forest Hills next week.
Yeah, and don't forget to click the follow button and that notification button, guys. We got Rocket League, Overwatch, a lot more action throughout the week as well, as Tech High School Series puts on a lot of great stuff here. It's certainly been a great time in Division 1 as well. A phenomenal time here today, Flater.
Oh, definitely. And of course, before we sign off, I believe, Hot Sauce at Hot Sauce on Twitter. Follow him there. FlaterCast myself. If you guys would want to drop that follow, I'd greatly appreciate it as always. But I believe this is it. The Esport Company will be back tomorrow with more Rocket League action. You'll probably find us on the desk again as well. This was Tech High School Series, and we are now signing off.